This week's episode is sponsored by Current Jerker Designs. When you're a promoter of any kind, one main obstacle you face is, how do I get more attention for my business? With Current Jerker Designs, you get over 10 years of experience with their creative marketing services. Reach out to Derek Sharp at currentjerkerdesigns.com. Again, that's currentjerkerdesigns.com, or you can email Derek directly to derek@currentjerkerdesigns.com.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Tuesday in the Face Wrestling Podcast. On today's episode, we are finally back together.
Yes, sir. Thank you for holding it down.
Well, you held it down the week before, so yeah. I'll hold it down for a couple episodes. No big deal. Well, actually, probably one of them isn't released yet. So
that's right. Well, the one that is released is the Pick and Pop episode, which I texted you as I was listening to it, and I gotta say it was a really fun interview. Those guys are something else.
Yeah, I think they have a lot more personality than people give them credit for.
Yeah.
Or no. I think that was the point of the podcast, was to kind of get to know them a little bit. Some playful banter back and forth. They did have some choice words for a few tag teams, though. What'd you just crack?
Michelob Ultra.
Oh, yes, Michelob Ultra.
Friendly.
And they had some fighting words. But then next week we'll be talking to someone who will probably have a rebuttal. So I'm looking forward to that conversation, posting that, et cetera, et cetera. Today, though, it's your road to WrestleMania.
It's finally happening, dude, and that's how things happen when you don't plan them, really.
Yeah. So you didn't plan to go, but now you're going.
I didn't plan on going. It was brought up to my attention that the possibility of me going existed, and then I let somebody else take the decision for me. So, our friend Alan, friend of the pod, Alan mentioned like, "Hey, would you go to WrestleMania?" And long story short is like, I told him, if you do it, I'll do it, just because Carla previously had pretty much encouraged. She's like, "Hey, I know the Stone Cold thing. You like Stone Cold. If you want to go to Mania, go for it."
Your favorite. This is probably the last time he'll wrestle.
And I also like one of the shirts that I've always wanted but never had was the Austin 316 shirt. The one
you've never
I never had it. Like as a kid, I always wanted it, but for whatever reason, I never got it. And once those tickets were locked in, and we're like, okay, we're going to Mania, I just had to go and I had to go to WWE shop and get myself a T-shirt.
Yeah, I think you've deserved this one. So yeah, it's cool that Carla is letting you, letting you do this. Not that she's controlling, she's not. But she's giving you free reign to kind of.
But she is the CFO of the household, as I stated.
We know
many
that
times before.
Yes, CEO and CFO. Yes, but yeah, there's going to be no perfect time, no perfect slot.
Right.
To go. I know we've talked about going before, but it just it just never felt right. But I think this is the one, and you just got to dive in, and that's kind of what you guys did. You just purchased it for you, and he's like, "Sorry."
Yes, Alan, 3 a.m., 2 a.m. in the morning sends me a screenshot. I bought the tickets. I was like, okay, I guess I gotta buy airplane tickets now.
Are you going on the same flight as him?
Mm-mm.
Oh,
no,
man.
we are. He leaves from here at 8 o'clock. I leave from here at 12.
Okay, flying out of O'Hare.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we'll be there. He got the ticket, so I got hotel.
Okay.
And we'll I think we're gonna end up splitting the cost of a rental.
Cool. What's the agenda when you get
no agenda?
No agenda. So I know we're Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's gonna lead into this episode actually, because the only thing that we had planned is like, okay, now that we know we're going, we have to fucking go to Gringo Loco's show.
Yes.
So that was an anonymous decision that was like, yes, we got to do that.
Exactly. So, and his show's Friday, and you guys get there Friday, and then you'll have enough time to prep and go to his show.
Absolutely. So that's the plan. We're there Friday night. There's no reason why we're not going to this show. It's going to be crazy. And, we have Gringo himself that's going to talk to us about this show and how this got put together. So, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, is Gringo in the waiting room yet, or are we're still waiting
He
on him?
is here. He is come right in, Mr. Gringo Loco.
Yo,
What up, man?
with the signature shades, the
Gotta
backwards
be.
hat.
Gotta be, bro. What's happening?
How's it going? Hey, how do you feel about those shades basically being synonymous with you?
It's been a long time coming, man. I've had these same shades for about 15 years, so it's not like I'm not gonna use them on every podcast ever. So,
Do you ever
yeah.
walk into a room with the shades on? And you're like, God, I can't see a thing because it's so dark in here.
yeah, I did that at Wale Mania a couple years ago, and I was like, I don't know who you are, but what up? And I would just say hi to everyone.
Hey man, thanks for joining us. I don't think we'll keep you very long. I know you got a ton of stuff probably going on this week, right? Is this like crunch week? Do you still have a ton of planning and stuff to do? Is there any kind of taken care of?
It's pretty much the craziest week of my life. The last 2 weeks have been nuts, just trying to lock everything down, nail everything out, and make sure that everybody's on the same page. Travel, hotel, just making sure that we're gonna have a killer show and that everybody's gonna kill it. Everybody's on board for killing it, and it's been pretty crazy, man. And I was just in Mexico all last week, just training, so I had that going on too. So it's just been nuts.
Oh shit. Yeah, I've seen you. I was thinking about when we were putting together this agenda. I was like, in terms of virality, you have to be one of the most viral people that we've ever talked to. And I saw that spinning powerbomb off the top rope thing now happening a bunch of times. Is that new? Like, talk me through
Over
how that
1
came
million
about.
views, dude.
Actually, 1.7 million. So I am watching that clip like you guys have no idea. I don't even know why it's so viral. I mean, it's very cool looking, but
Yeah, it is.
1.7 million views is nothing to bat your eye at. And then me
For
and
sure.
Mac are just like, yo, just keep going. Like, share it again. I'll share it again. Have everybody that we know share it again. Like, this is fantastic. It was definitely executed perfectly. I think that's why everybody keeps watching it over and over again. But
Yeah.
I mean, it's just wild. On top of having my own show, having that clip, trying to get some training in before I have to get back to actual life. It's just nuts, man. It's unbelievable.
Right. Yeah. So your show, right? So how far? So it's called Gringo Locos, the World on Lucha, and GCW does this they've done this with a bunch of people before, where it's like it's almost like presented by that person. Like, how far into that is it? Is this like basically your brainchild in terms of booking and creative and things like that?
I'd say I don't know, 80% of it is definitely all me, and then with a little
Okay.
bit of Brett influence in it. Of course, I mean he's the man, right? But
Right.
in terms of putting who with who and how we want to do things in terms of when the show actually goes live, it's definitely most of my ideas. So it's definitely presented by GCW. It was, I've had this vision for about
Mhm.
2 years now. I was going to do it on my own, and then Brett said that he was interested, and I was like, "Yo, let's definitely do this." And it was his idea to do it during WrestleMania weekend, which I thought fit perfectly. Everybody's already going to be down there, like it'll just be a perfect fit. So I think that I don't know, match made in heaven for now.
Yeah, Chris, I want to get your take on this card because it's just, I mean, it's an explosion of lucha, right? Chris, is it like
It is. I mean, just with the initial, like, I think when you started announcing the show, and like your face was on it. I'm like, oh shit! And then like slowly but surely, like names started getting released, and it's like it's just gonna get bonkers. I don't even know. Like, there's you could talk about a sleeper match or a show stealer, but I think all these matches, the way they're put together, at least the ones that I know of, have their own type of flavor, like their own unique lucha style. So it's gonna be definitely, it could put lucha back into the map to a certain degree.
Yeah, I definitely think that's what I wanted for sure. I wanted authenticity. I wanted like the real deal luchador stuff.
Okay.
Obviously with the you can see with the GCW influences coming in
Hmm.
here and there with Deppen and Mac. Morrison coming in for us is huge. I think that he actually reached out to me, which was unbelievable. Him and I
Okay.
have a relationship from before, but he reached out, said he definitely wanted to be part of it, and I was just taken aback by that as well. But I think we have a lot of elements that will make this show very special. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what people think at the end of the night.
Yeah. I'm intrigued by the Tony Deppen Psychosis matchup because there's a lot of great things about both of those people. There's a lot of unique things about Tony Deppen, but why him of all people that you could have put with Psychosis?
Well, I think he's a GCW pillar, and I know
Okay.
Brett is very high on him. I'm very high on him. We know how talented he is. I know he had a Twitter campaign to get on the show, which I thought was very, likable. He was
Yeah.
tweeting, a video a day on how he deserves to be on the Lucha show.
Shit.
He was doing a lot of cool Lucha stuff, and I'm like, why not? And Brett was already like, yeah, we were going to do it anyway. And I was like, oh, fantastic, because I was going to ask you if we can get him on. But yeah, I think it's definitely a mix of styles, and then why not put Deppen with a legend, man? I mean, it's going to be, Psychosis, the original Psychosis versus a pillar of GCW. I think it just fits. You have authentic Lucha with GCW. It just fits for the show.
Yeah, exactly. That makes sense. How do you feel about your match against Team Laredo?
Well, I mean, I booked it, so it's going to be amazing.
Is there any? It's all love there, or there's no bad blood with that other team?
Well, I just think that, we don't want Laredo kid's head to get too big. I mean, we know he's good, but he might be inflating that ego a little bit. So I'm going to go into the ring and kind of show him who's boss at this point. So, yeah, I think the match is going to be fantastic. It's three of the top flyers that are available to us at the given time. And, Horace is definitely a talent that could be seen a lot more. So called him up, said if he was interested. He said, yeah, absolutely. So, and we all know about ASF. He's just this shooting star trajectory of straight up. Okay. And then you have Laredo, who is like the king of Mexico right now. So, yeah, it's going to be fantastic.
Cool.
So you in your team, Team Gringo, we have Flamita. And can you talk to me a little bit about Abismo Negro Jr.? I mean, I think, a lot of us or Lucha people know who Abismo Negro is. But Junior, I know he's been making some waves, but I don't know much about him.
I think you'll definitely know his name after this match. So I've known him for 15 years. We came up in Mexico together without any names at all. I mean, I had the Gringo Loco name, but it wasn't known anywhere. He's always been super solid, super good in the ring. And he was given that name very recently by AAA. So there's a reason why they put that stamp on him, the stamp of approval of Abismo Negro Jr. I mean, that's nothing that
right.
And not anybody could play that role. You have to be extremely good at what you're doing. So they have the faith in him. I've always had the faith in him. I've known him for a long time. So, we need bases on the other side, and we're gonna show what we can do as a team. Flamita, I mean, speaks for himself, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think this show goes that extra because there's I watched Lucha that comes around here. And I know some names through Chris, right? Being having a little bit more knowledge of it. I think this roster even goes deeper than that. So if you're an indie fan in Chicago, there's people on, and you've watched Lucha Underground. I know that Arrow Boy. I see that name. I see Golden Dragon. I see Shane Mercer, and Golden Dragon being a local guy. So that's as far as my knowledge of the roster goes. And then there's another level of the guys you just mentioned, that are just you got to watch AAA to see these guys.
Those are good. That's going to be the only platform that you would see Octagon Junior in too, which you're probably going to see a lot more of. Now that these guys have visas, I know Abismo Negro is going to be, which he will kill it, but he's going to be more involved with GCW in the coming future. You're right. There are levels to this shit, but
yeah.
There's a whole I was just down there for an entire week, right? So I know there's a plethora and just an amazing group of upcoming talent coming up that I really can't wait for you guys to see. So,
can we say that this is for us local guys, I'm super happy to see Golden Dragon on this card. Is this a great opportunity for him to kind of showcase what he's made of?
I mean, it's the biggest opportunity of his career, and I was so happy that I was able to play a role in him getting down there, getting booked on the show.
That's awesome.
He's my number one dude, man. I mean, me and him, ran Galley for a long time. So I think that I have all the faith in the world in him. I mean, I know he got some fire ass gear too. Be on the lookout for that for WrestleMania weekend. Nice. And listen, Spring Break 2. I want to say that I was no one. And I got that opportunity in that scramble in the very first match. I wasn't even announced. And then everything happened after that. So this is definitely an opportunity for all those guys in that scramble to open the show up and just kill it, knock it out of the park, and then you're a known name. So, it's time to go. It's put up or shut up for all those guys.
Yeah, that's funny. I remember the stories about ECW reaching out to you, and you're You like weren't responded to them at first or something. You're like, oh yeah, I guess I should do this GC. Now it's like multiple times going to WrestleMania. Now you have a show named after you. So that's a pretty.
That's a crazy trajectory, isn't it? Like I was not going to do Spring Break 2. Think about that right now. I was like, I don't think I want to go, so I'm just not going to do it. And then I got forced to do it, and then everything else is history. So
cool. Yeah. Any potential sneaky show stealer on here, or is it just kind of across the board? Anyone can do it.
Oh my god, I think it's just so loaded, man. I mean, you got Jack Cartwheel and Morrison or Caballero, whatever he's calling himself now. I honestly think like with that many flips going in one match, that could definitely be like the sleeper of my show. Nobody's talking about it, but I think that could definitely like I'm keeping my eye out on that specific match because I don't want it to like up mine. So I'm just gonna make sure that like whatever they're doing, we're not. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think we have a lot of cool stuff. I mean, I know
AR Fox and Ninja.
Yeah,
like that's also gonna be like insane. But
how
to throw in
the
the GCW flavor, you're having Pagano in there. Pagano and Sadika.
I was just about to mention that. Yeah, so that's going to get a little nutty. You know, they're both out of their minds. I think they're I don't even know. Listen, I don't know what's going to happen in that. That was not my call, and I love that it's happening. So let's go. I don't know what's going to happen in that match. I'm going to hopefully get a chance to see it live because I know if I wasn't part of my own show, I would go to this show just to see that match because what a like clash of like talents. You know what I mean? Pagano versus Sadika. Like I'm scared to see what happens.
Yeah.
And then then the big rematch.
The big one, for the States. Right? Yeah. Got
Dr. Wagner Jr. versus Psycho Clown, exactly.
That's like a Triple Mania main event, isn't it? Or has been? Or
so, so when we laid all the cards on the table, you know, how authentic do we want to be? And we both said, well, we want to be the most authentic. Well, I was like, well, I got the guys and I have the connections. Let me see if they'll do it. And that's what we came up with. So Wagner, Psycho Clown, it just really breathes Lucha Libre authenticity, and that's why I went with that. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, Chris, I got one more. I don't know if you had anything else, but I got one.
Go for it.
Question. One more question before we let this man get back to his extremely busy schedule. If we were to just to clip something out this week to obviously help promote this recording, which helps promote your show. What can fans expect when they come to this show if you were to summarize it?
Oh God, expect craziness and flips. That's what I can promise you.
It's definitely gonna car wheels, flips. It's definitely gonna be a lot of that. Maybe some spinning power bombs. You know.
Oh, I got to do that. That's why that move is taking me all around the country. Of course, I'm gonna have to do one, maybe two of those. So yeah, absolutely.
All right. Yeah. Hey, it's nice to catch up. I know we haven't like we might have probably seen each other at shows, but in terms of this podcast, haven't talked in like years.
Yeah, man.
So it's great, and we wish you just the best of luck and everything. Congrats on your success. You deserve all of it. And we will. I think Chris will be there at the show.
I will be there.
Oh, let's go, man. You know, I've always appreciated you guys from day one, man. So the love is reciprocated 100%. So
absolutely. We're going to get this out and try to promote it as quickly as we can. We'll be retweeting, and best of luck with everything, man.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. It was my pleasure.
Right, just quickly before we let you go, Gringo, plug away some social media handles and we'll include links to ticket buying and all that stuff.
Yeah, of course. So Twitter is at Gringo Loco OG, and the Instagram is I_am_BaseGod. I am BaseGod with underscores in between the words. So yeah, that's where you can find me, man. Thanks again, guys.
All right. Awesome. And yeah, you could just it'll keep recording, so you just log off. And
okay, sounds good, guys.
Talk to you soon.
I'll see you in Dallas, bud. See you.
Cool. All right, I think I didn't have to explain it to him. He probably knew, but
yeah.
No, this is some high tech stuff we're working with. The StreamYard, huh? People can just pop in whenever they want.
And you don't know this, but we have an upgraded account, so our videos are now in HD quality.
Ooh, but Monix is not allowed to pop in randomly.
No, security levels definitely increased here, and no more hacking. Hopefully, I mean, it'll be put to the test, but we'll see.
I mean, the password has like how many special characters in it now? 4.
It's
maybe.
it's all special characters. Literally, that's the password. All special characters.
Written out, all one word, all special
Right.
characters. Yeah, man, I don't know how you let that breach slip, but I think you've really rebounded with the cool ads and the StreamYard stuff, so I think we're willing to forgive you.
Yeah, man. You got to step up your game. But yeah, I mean that was great. The fact that we got to just get a little bit of the insight into how Gringo put this card together and what to expect at the show. So I mean, again, you guys can watch it on Fight TV if you're not going out to the show. But man, I'm excited. Like, I mean, I'll be definitely taking a few masks to see if I can get them signed.
I think should
I'm
we start a
afraid that
GoFundMe?
I'm gonna walk away with a few masks also. So
Oh, do you don't have a psycho clown? I know that.
I don't have a psycho clown.
Mm-hmm.
And
I know you have Dr. Wagner.
I do have Wagner, and I would love for him to sign one of my masks.
Oh, so, right. You got to bring it.
Yeah.
Bring them. Are you going to bring the 2 years in a face luchador mask down there?
I might just rock it for that show with my lucha. I don't know. Fucking Texas is gonna be hot. I was gonna say with my lucha libre poncho, but
Texas. Walking around in that and a mask, you're gonna burn.
Right.
Burn up. That was nice to drop in though. I like those little. I kind of like the style of the little 15-minute check-ins we've been doing a little bit here and there, and with Pick and Pop is more buffet line style. Let's really sit down and just pick at this buffet line for like an hour. We've done one of those with Gringo and Isai, which is years old. Like I said, we haven't had them on in years. That's fine. We always said hi to him and always kept in touch, basically. Yeah, I'm really excited for his show, man. I mean, it's an expression of himself, and like creatively it has to be like super fulfilling. I just, the logistics, I'm sure, are a nightmare this week, but it'll probably be worth it.
For sure. I mean, and it's one of those things that we've always talked about how, it's cool for us to kind of be, since we had been going to, local shows often enough for X amount of time, like you see that progression, that evolution of the wrestler. And, like you were saying, like the story of him, potentially not even going to spring break, and now he has a show named after him. And he's booking it and he's putting it together. So that's pretty cool to see.
Yeah. That's just it's fun. It's just funny how casual he was about it.
Yeah.
What is this spring break show? It's like, should I even do this spring break show? And then there's people that would kill to be on one of those like spring break shows. He's just like, yeah, I guess I'll do it. But no, he is. I mean, he's an absolute. Besides a good dude, he's an asset wherever he goes. He is Speaking of base god, he called Tony Depp a foundational pillar. Gringo Loco is literally a foundational pillar for these moves. He's literally the pillar physically.
Yeah.
Like only certain people probably can have the power in their legs and their base to do that spinning power bomb, like to get to bounce off the ropes and do that. Like he makes it look so easy, but I feel like he's like all legs. Like his legs have got to be so strong, to do that.
But who's also running a show over there on Friday as well? But this show is, I believe, at 3 p.m. because I actually arrived to Texas at 2 o'clock or 1 something.
Oh, you just go straight there.
So I'm going straight there. I'm gonna have.
Oh, you are going straight there.
Yeah, I'm gonna have Alan with the car ready outside of the airport because he'll be there already, and I'll be like, "Dude, let's jump in the car. Let me jump in the car, and we're heading right to Zelo."
The getaway driver.
Yeah.
Sort of.
So that's the plan. So you talked about an agenda earlier, and there's no agenda outside of Gringo and Zelo, and then after that, it's we're doing Mania Saturday and Sunday.
Okay, cool. That's awesome. So yeah, let me go over the Gringo show details really quick, just for the logistics.
Yes.
It's held in Fair Park, Dallas, Texas, Friday, April 1st at 7:30 p.m. Also streaming live on Fight TV. We'll have the ticket links at twoheelsandface.com in the description of this as well. And then Friday, April 1st, 3 p.m. Zelo Pro in Texas, Fort Worth, Texas.
Texas. Yep.
Ridgelea Theater. Tickets available while supplies last at zelopro.com. And yeah, this is a whole stacked show as well. I mean, I think some people are making probably their WrestleMania show debuts here, right? I mean, I think
Maybe.
GPA was maybe booked, and then maybe was that the one that got canceled or not, or like maybe he's been on a show before around WrestleMania, but this might be one of his firsts, I think, first or second.
Right, like WrestleMania weekends or WrestleMania
weekend show,
yeah.
Which I think is really cool. But yeah, on this card, GPA and Laney Luck versus Pretty Proper. So I love that they're continuing. It's the showcase of champions, right? They both have a belt. I love that they're continuing the
Triple H Stephanie McMahon.
Yeah, I was gonna say that the intergender mixed tag. It's cool how they're continuing that. You know, we did write an article. I don't know if you, the listener, has read it, but like what would a intergender or mixed tag tournament be like?
Talking about tournaments, we currently have the buffet bracket. Not to interrupt the Zelo talk.
Oh, please do. We haven't talked about that yet at all.
Right. It's all been you're doing on social media. So let's give it a quick 3 minutes here.
The buffet, the buffet bracket. What was your first? So this is Tyler's idea. Tyler Edwards.
Right. He's Prince Petty.
Prince Petty.
Yes.
BLP talent guy.
Talking about shows, he's about to run his own show too.
Yeah, we're gonna have him on for that too. Absolutely. Yeah. We might sit down for like I don't know how, maybe he'll check in, or maybe we might sit down for a little longer. We'll see. But it was his idea because we put it, we were like, what should we do? He had the idea of finishing moves, and then I put together the bracket, got your approval on it. But yeah, what did you first think when it came across your desk?
I think there were a few moves that I was like, and I think you got some like some people had comments about it.
Sure.
Right. So I'm pulling up the bracket real quick. And so we have the Stone Cold Stunner going up against the F5. This is the initial 18.
Yeah. And there was playing games because there's so many there's so many good finishers, right? So many good finishers. So we had playing games which consisted of Twitter polls. I tried to do 4 different regions. If you look at the initial bracket on our Instagram at the number 2 Heels in the Face, the top left region is kind of like your slam moves.
I did not even notice that until now.
The top right are your off the top rope. The bottom left are your striking. The bottom right is your submissions.
I see.
So I broke them into different regions. And I purposely left out, I think while I was making it, Razor might have been in critical condition. We love Razor, our RIP Scott Hall, but I kind of wanted to leave out the Razor's Edge because I felt like it would get a ton of bias.
Fair.
Just because of this time. Once again, amazing finishing move. He was amazing in it, and he the way like people landed off the Razor's Edge was like very safe. I just thought it was like a really well done move. But there's so many moves we legitimately could have made a 64 move rack.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's going
to done the whole year with it.
we could have done literally as many games as you see of college basketball during March Madness. We could have done that, but we don't want to be that annoying. Struggling with voter turnout a little bit compared to previous years. So apologies if I'm like pinging people and being a little bit annoying, but okay. What were the ones that you're like, I'm not sure, I don't know, etc.
Well, I sort of agreed with Coda Hernandez about wait, did we change the name? No,
Eddie's Frog Splash.
Yeah, the Frog Splash versus the D'Lo. What was the name of the D'Lo Brown's finisher?
The Lowdown.
The Lowdown, yeah.
So
that was a play-in, right?
The play-in was actually just the 5, Lowdown versus, but it was the 5-star Frog Splash. So I messed up on that episode because I don't think I ever included Eddie's. So that's my fault.
Okay. Yeah, so just let me run through it right quick. So I mentioned Stone Cold Stunner up against the F5, Jackknife Powerbomb against the One Winged Angel. Then we had Sweet Chin Music versus Rainmaker. People's Elbow versus Spear, which I thought that was a great match there between.
I think that might have been, almost 50-50. I
Oh,
had
yeah?
to go to a special consultant for the tiebreaker, someone who's never listened to the show before, but is a wrestling fan. So
Okay.
it was not biased. I had to go to a tiebreaker for
Oh,
that.
that's not a real wrestling fan if they're not listening to the show.
Fair.
Then you had the 5-star frog splash against the Macho Man elbow.
Uh-huh.
Swanton bomb. What is the BME?
So the BMA is the best moonsault ever. It's
Okay,
Christopher
yes,
Daniels.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I want it. So yeah, there's a little bit of like, I just didn't want it to be like WWE's top 10 best wrestlers finishers.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So I wanted like, that's why I threw in the One Winged Angel. That's why I threw in the Rainmaker. So you got a little bit of New Japan, AEW there. BME is a little bit of AEW/Impact. So I wanted to like have representation.
You put in the crossface, so that is not WWE.
Well,
Right, like
that could be like Kylie's crossface.
Right.
I didn't put Crippler crossface.
Right, didn't they it's a crippler's crossface. Yeah, you're right. Okay.
I think because a couple people use that. I think, or
yeah, I think Sasha Banks has that, like towards the end of the bank statement.
That's sort of. I don't know. There might be a little different, but kind of. Yeah, I think that's still like a crossface variation, right? Yeah.
But yeah, you had the sharpshooter against the crossface, and then the figure 4 against the Catamulation. What's up with that? Where did that one come from?
So this was Daniel Bryan's submission finisher on the Indies. I think he used it in Ring of Honor a lot.
Okay.
So once again, I just didn't want to overload the whole bracket with just like WWE, WCW finishers. So I went to that one.
Yeah, I think, I mean, by looking at the bracket, and so those were the initial, 18, 16?
16, yeah.
16, and then right now we're currently at the Stunner versus the Jackknife Powerbomb. We're Sweet Chin Music against the People's Elbow.
Correct.
The 5-star Frog Splash against the Swanton.
Yes.
The Sharpshooter versus the figure 4. Oof.
Yes. So it ended up just being all WWE finishers.
Listen.
But so maybe I should just want that and made it a little bit harder, because the first round, I think if it's not like a main WWE guy doing that, and I kind of wanted to separate the move from the person. I understand that we probably should just labeled it the Stunner instead of the Stone Cold Stunner. But I wanted people to vote that way.
But you can't just, I mean, you can't just put the elbow and not call it the People's Elbow. Like, that's the Rock's finisher.
I know.
I was super kick and the Sweet Chin Music.
But like, look at the move itself and not necessarily your love for the wrestler.
Right.
Or the wrestler's legacy. Just look at what the move is. Is it like the People's Elbow is a gimmicky finisher? If you don't like gimmicky finishers.
And the Sweet Chin Music is now a transitional move, so.
Yeah, Sweet Chin Music is a super kick. Maybe you think that's been watered down. That has nothing to do with Michael's career. But
right.
So you bring up really good. You bring up good points. So I didn't want the first round to be confusing.
So yeah,
but I also just wanted to like spread it out across the entire wrestling atmosphere.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, to me, the hardest pick right now is the submissions, sharpshooter or figure 4. Yeah, I love them both.
I was very sad that the sharpshooter and Scorpion Deathlock was the playing game. Sharpshooter ended up winning, but it was like only like 10 votes or so not a very good sample size. So I think it's still up for debate on what is a better finishing move.
The people have spoken, all right?
No, not enough people. It was probably GPA's account. GPA, Laney, and 8 accounts that GPA made that day voted for the sharpshooter.
All right. Well, so that's the buffet bracket. Follow us on
who do you think's going to win? Probably the Stunner.
I got to say the Stunner.
Yeah. I think you're right.
It's going to go. So here's the finals is going to be the Stunner versus the Sharpshooter.
Okay.
So Stone Cold versus Brett all over again.
Amazing. I should have included Eddie's Frog Splash. That's my fault, but like, probably over RVD's 5-star frog splash. I think I probably, but then again, it's like I know Eddie has probably arguably a better legacy than RVD, but in terms of the frog splash, I think RVD's was kind of a little bit cooler. If you were to like take if a black silhouette character did the move, not necessarily Eddie doing the frog splash, but like if a person got on the top rope and he was a person you've never seen before in your life, and Eddie Guerrero and Rob Van Dam never existed in this world, like, and they each did a frog splash, which one would look cooler?
I like Eddie's, dude.
Do you think there's any bias in that though?
I don't think so.
Okay, so you like the little bit? He's like a little bit more compact.
Yeah.
Keeps it a little in. Okay, that's fair. I think you answered that question fairly, and I'll admit that's probably where I fucked up the most on this bracket. So yeah, we'll see how it turns out.
Yeah, regardless.
And if people are mad, we asked for suggestions.
Yeah, see, Tyler suggested the finishing move, so we ran with that.
So like, if Coda and Darius and Latrell are pissed, if you're pissed at Eddie Guerrero for the frog splash that Eddie Guerrero didn't make it, then you need to follow us on Twitter. And when we put out a tweet, just respond to it. Like, One Winged Angel, I think, was suggested, and I was like, yes, that's good. Or like, that's good because it's not like, and then that gives us more promotion representation. But like, don't be mad. Follow us, comment. Boom.
There you go. All right. Well, make sure you do follow us so you can vote on the next round. When is the next round?
I've been trying to
run over.
Probably Thursday, but maybe I should speed it up a little bit. But I'm kind of, like I said, our voter participation is not as good as the previous years. I don't know what that is. Maybe we're getting worse at this. Maybe people are sick of us. But I've been trying to get more voter participation. So we'll see if we can get up to like what last week's count was, then maybe I can end it a little bit early and we can get the next one going. Because I know that the Final Four, I think, might be this weekend. The actual Final Four of the actual basketball tournament. So we might go maybe a week later than the actual tournament, but we'll see.
Cool. All right. So that's enough of the bracket. But real quick to kind of recap Zelo's upcoming show in Texas, Friday, April 1st at 3 p.m. The Bang Bros are going to be out there. The Bang Bros are going to
The Bang Bros are there. The Wrestling Natural Classics.
Yep. There's an all-women's scramble.
Once again, there's an all-women's scramble. That's awesome. Blair Onyx is in it. Missa Kate's in it. Alexis Gracia. And there's probably people. There's probably local Texas talent. Like, I don't know some of these people.
Mm-hmm.
Country Air, which has wrestled for Zelo before, versus Big John Crowley and Swoggle. What a pair that is.
There you go.
Warhorse versus Stephen Wolf. I think we maybe need to reach out to Stephen Wolf. I wouldn't mind having him on this podcast. Shaza McKenzie versus Hyan. I think Hyan recently may have moved back to Texas. I saw something online.
She's from Texas, right?
I think so, yes. Simon Gotch versus Davey Richards. Chelsea Green versus Rachel Ellering. Once again, Zelo Pro continues the streak of at least 3 women's matches. And there's a scramble on here, which is...
Well, I mean, is it a scramble? They're labeling it as Fool's Gold Gauntlet.
Oh, yeah, it's true. Fool's Gold Gauntlet.
So I don't know if that means scramble.
Is that a little bit like the Warrior Wrestling War of Attrition match? Gauntlet. Oh, wait, a gauntlet match is the 2 people start.
Right. Okay,
one person pins, the next one comes out.
I'm like, that's why I rung a bell. I'm like, I know this is a different format. I just can't think of it. Yeah, that's it. That's it.
That's what a gauntlet is. Cool. That's maybe the first all women's gauntlet that I've ever seen. Honestly.
Yeah,
except
but I
for
mean,
that I've ever seen an indie show. I mean,
I think so. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the Zelo card that's out there for now. Again, I will do my best to be there on time. Might be there a couple minutes late, but then after that's over, making the drive out to Dallas, Texas, for the Gringo show. So that's my Friday. Midlothian to O'Hare to Texas to then Dallas, Texas, and we'll see how the night ends. I don't know.
You got to let me know how that day goes, man. I feel like you're going to be just bushed. And then you're going to 2 days at WrestleMania or one?
Yeah, 2 days.
Oh my God, you're going to be so tired. You're going to be gassed.
And then I fly back out first thing Monday morning.
Wow, you got that day off too, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Okay. Godspeed, my friend.
Yeah,
wish
and
you the
then
best of luck.
Tuesday back at it.
You gotta take notes. So you can tell stories when you get back.
Gotta take notes, please. I'll remember. I'll remember it all.
You're like, this is gonna be you. I know I was at the show.
I'll make sure to take video and pictures so I can be able to put the stories together.
There you go. That's perfect.
All right, man. Well, I think this wraps up this quick episode. We'll release it right away. So for anybody that wants to make it out to Texas, anybody that's going out there, they know a little bit more about the Gringo show, about the Zelo show. They're able to purchase tickets if you haven't gotten any, and then also you can also make sure you can buy the show if you want to watch this. Both shows, at least Gringos is available on Fight TV. I'm not sure about Zelo's.
I don't think it is, at least from what I've seen. So
okay, well, it will be fun and we'll be in touch. We'll have an episode for you regardless next week.
Yep.
And that's one of the solos that Charlie took care of.
Yep. With Darren Corbin.
Oh, he said it. I was gonna hold off on it. But yes, Darren Corbin is on the pod. So be on the lookout.
It was an
for
amazing conversation. Definitely. So definitely follow so you can see when that goes live.
All right. And make sure you vote for the buffet bracket. Make
Yes.
sure you hashtag beatupgpa. Anything else, Charlie? Last thoughts?
No, twohisandface.com for everything. Please vote for the bracket if you have a second. It takes like 4 clicks. But yeah, I just appreciate Gringo. Appreciate you, Chris. Wish you the best. Safe travels.
Thank you, sir. And I will see you this week at some point.
Definitely.
All right.
Bye.
Thanks.